Section 1 is the foundation of India, which is part 1 of the Constitution. The Indian Constitution, adopted in 1950, is a remarkable document. It lays the groundwork for a democratic and just society. Part 1 of this Constitution, titled The Union and its Territory, is particularly significant. It defines the very essence of India as a nation. This part, encompassing Articles 1 to 4, outlines the structure of the Indian Union and its territorial integrity. It emphasizes the unity of India while acknowledging its diversity. Part 1 is crucial for understanding India's federal structure. It establishes that India is not a loose confederation of states. Rather, it is a strong and united nation with states as integral parts. This section of the Constitution acts as the bedrock upon which the rest of the document is built. It ensures the stability and sovereignty of the Indian Republic. The articles within Part 1 deal with fundamental aspects of India's existence. They address the admission of new states, the alteration of boundaries, and the relationship between the Union government and the states. The framers of the Constitution recognized the importance of flexibility and adaptability. They incorporated provisions to accommodate future changes while upholding the core principles of unity and integrity. Understanding Part 1 is essential for every citizen. It provides insights into the historical context of India's formation and the vision of its founding fathers. It also sheds light on the delicate balance between unity and diversity that characterizes the Indian nation. Section 2, Article 1, Defining the Union of States. Article 1 of the Indian Constitution is deceptively simple yet profoundly significant. It declares, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. This single sentence encapsulates the very essence of India's nationhood. It establishes India as a union, not a federation. This distinction is crucial. It emphasizes that the states are not independent entities that have chosen to come together. Instead, they are integral parts of a larger whole. The use of both India and Bharat in the article is deliberate. It acknowledges the country's diverse linguistic heritage and cultural roots. India is derived from the Indus River, reflecting the country's ancient Greek name. Bharat finds its roots in ancient Indian scriptures and represents the land's indigenous identity. The inclusion of both names signifies inclusivity and recognizes the multiple narratives that have shaped India. Article 1 lays the foundation for understanding the relationship between the Union government and the states. It establishes the supremacy of the Constitution. This means that all laws and actions of both the Union and the states must conform to the principles enshrined in the Constitution. In essence, Article 1 is the cornerstone of Indian federalism. It defines the country's political structure and sets the stage for the distribution of powers between the Union and the states. Over the years, key provisions and amendments have further clarified and strengthened the concept of the Union of States. These changes have been instrumental in maintaining the unity and integrity of India, ensuring that the Union remains strong and cohesive. Section 3, Article 2, Admission of New States. The Case of Telangana. Article 2 of the Indian Constitution grants Parliament the power to admit new states into the Union. This power is not absolute, but is subject to certain conditions. Parliament can admit a new state by passing a law. This law may specify the boundaries of the new state and the adjustments to be made in the representation of existing states in Parliament. The creation of Telangana in 2014 exemplifies the application of Article 2. The demand for a separate state of Telangana, carved out of Andhra Pradesh, had existed for decades. After prolonged deliberations and political negotiations, Parliament passed the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act in 2014. This act led to the creation of Telangana as the 29th state of India. The Telangana example demonstrates the flexibility enshrined in the constitution to accommodate the aspirations of the people while upholding the principles of democracy and federalism. The process, however, is not without its complexities. It requires careful consideration of various factors, including linguistic and cultural identities, administrative feasibility, and economic viability. Article 2, therefore, is not merely a procedural provision. It represents the dynamism of the Indian Union and its capacity to evolve over time while maintaining its essential unity. Section 4, Article 3, Altering State Boundaries, a Constitutional Process. Article 3 of the Indian Constitution deals with the alteration of boundaries of existing states and the formation of new states by separating territory from existing ones. This article grants Parliament the power to make such changes. However, this power is not absolute and is subject to a specific procedure. Any bill for the alteration of boundaries or the formation of a new state must be introduced in Parliament on the recommendation of the President. This ensures that such significant decisions are not taken unilaterally by the Union government. It mandates consultation with the state legislatures concerned. The President, before recommending a bill, is required to refer it to the legislature of the state or states concerned for expressing its views. While Parliament is not bound by the views of the state legislature, this provision ensures that the concerns of the affected states are heard and considered. The process outlined in Article 3 highlights the importance of dialogue and consensus building in matters related to the territorial integrity of the country. It recognizes the sensitivities involved in altering state boundaries and seeks to balance the interests of the Union with the aspirations of the states. Section 5. Safeguarding Legislative Decisions. Article 4 of the Indian Constitution plays a crucial role in safeguarding the legislative decisions made under Articles 1, 2, and 3. It declares that any law made by Parliament under these articles shall not be deemed an amendment to the Constitution. Furthermore, it states that such laws are not subject to judicial review by the courts. This provision might seem unusual at first glance. However, it serves a vital purpose. It ensures that decisions regarding the admission or formation of states or the alteration of their boundaries are treated as matters of political judgment rather than legal interpretation. The framers of the Constitution recognized that such decisions often involve complex political considerations, historical factors, and the aspirations of the people. They believed that these matters should be left to the elected representatives of the people in Parliament to decide. By shielding such laws from judicial review, Article 4 ensures the finality and stability of legislative decisions regarding the territorial structure of India. It prevents protracted legal battles that could potentially undermine the unity and integrity of the nation.